Imagine you're floating in the deep sea, pitch black all around, with only your helmet light cutting a narrow cone of visibility just a few meters ahead. Suddenly, something emerges from the darkness. Not a fish, not any animal you recognize. It's a leaf of wing, writhing tentacle, studded with suckers, curling, probing, contracting as if it has a mind of its own. One word flashes in your head: alien. And this isn't a joke. Professor Rajebsky from the German Center for Molecular Medicine once said something famous: if you want to meet an alien, go diving and become friends with an octopus. Today, I'll break down this alien brain into 3 foundational ideas anyone can understand, why scientists call it extraterrestrial intelligence, and just how counterintuitive its body and mind really are. The most mind-bending one is saved for last, so stay with me till the end. Let's rewind to August 2015 on a beach in Western Australia. An adult bottlenose dolphin named Gilligan stranded and died. Dolphin strandings aren't rare, but the forensic autopsy stunned everyone. This dolphin didn't drown. It wasn't sick. It suffocated. What blocked its airway? A giant octopus's tentacle wrapped tightly around its tongue base, throat, and esophagus. Its suckers locked onto tissue, sealing off the air passage completely. Even more chilling, that tentacle had already been severed from the octopus's body at then detached. It kept carrying out its defense mission, using its last reserves of energy to drag the intruder into death. Think about it. When most people hear octopus kills, their first question is, how toxic is it? But octopuses don't rely on the usual venom flooding the bloodstream strategy. Their venom paralyzes nerves, but their real weapon is distributed warfare. That severed tentacle, still capable of independent action. It's like unplugging a computer, but its external keyboard keeps frantically typing delete over and over. Can you imagine that kind of horror? That's the octopus's first foundational principle. The body is the battlefield. It doesn't command everything from one central brain. Instead, it deploys its army to the front lines and gives every soldier decision-making authority. How does it pull lead off? Let's look at its nervous architecture. An octopus has roughly 500 million neurons, about as many as a dog, and close to the number in a human toddler. But quantity isn't the point, it's distribution. In humans, most neurons cluster in the brain and spinal cord. In octopuses, over 60% of those neurons reside in the 8 arms, and about 1/3, or roughly 80 million, sit in the central brain. In other words, it doesn't have one brain. It has 8 mini brains, or more precisely, 8 arm brains. This arrangement is unique in the animal kingdom. No other creature, including us, splits its central processor into 9 modules scattered across the body. The octopus's central brain issues abstract commands. Go home. Catch crab. But how to execute them? Each arm's nerve core decides which muscles to fire, how sharply to bend, whether to release a sucker. Details the central brain doesn't manage at all. Can you picture lifting your arm and doing 8 completely different things at once? An octopus can. In 2023, researchers at UC San Diego published a study in Cell. They found that when seawater cools, octopuses can rewire a protein called kinesin 1A molecular delivery truck inside nerve cells within just a few hours, using RNA editing. Cold slows down these trucks, making them slip. But the octopus doesn't fix the truck itself. It edits the instruction manual. It's RNA. That tweak makes kinesin 1 run slower, but steadier in the cold. It's like your car automatically switching to snow. Out in winter, no skidding, precise deliveries. What's the cost? Most people might think that's incredibly adapted to heat and cold. But experts know every superpower has a trade-off. Heavy reliance on RNA editing suppresses natural DNA mutation rates over time. Because if DNA mutates, all those finely tuned RNA edits become useless. So the octopus trades long-term evolution, the law of flexibility, for short-term protein adaptability. It's hyper-adaptable as an individual, but evolutionarily sluggish as a species. That's why, despite astonishing intelligence, it never developed civilization or technology you pay for immediate smart TS with long-term stability. No. Let's move to the second foundational principle, the chemical boundary between self and non-self. For the octopus, individual identity isn't drawn by skin, it's written in scent. Scientists ran an experiment. They placed both a severed octopus tentacle and a live crab in the same tank. The octopus devoured the crab without hesitation, but never tangled or fought with its own arms. Its suckers are packed with chemical sensors. When a sucker touches something, it doesn't ask, "Is this hard or soft?" It asks, "Is this me?" If it's another octopus's arm, it attacks or eats it. But if it's its own, it detects the self-chemical signature and lets go. Think about it. Humans distinguish me from you through vision, language, memory. Octopuses do it by asking, "Do you smell like me?" That's a completely alien model of selfhood. Our self is unified and continuous. The octopus's self is fragmented and updated in real time. Chemically, it's like a computer running 9 independent operating systems coordinated, not by hierarchy, by a shared low-level chemical protocol, never overriding, never conflicting. But this decentralization comes at a price. In September 2025, a study published in Scientific Reports, led by researcher Chelsea O'Byrne, revealed that an octopus's 8 arms have strict functional divisions. The front 4 handle fine manipulasi, grabbing crabs, opening jars, exploring crevices. The rear 4 specialize in support and locomotion, pushing the body, crawling, propelling forward. Sounds familiar? Like a soccer team forward line attacks, defense holds back. But if a forward gets injured, you can't just reassign a defender to score goals, because those rear arms are neurologically wired for pushing, and sudden role switching causes errors. Let's do the math. An octopus has only about 180 million neurons in its central brain, yet it simultaneously controls 8 autonomous arms while executing grip, crawl, camouflage, respiration, memory, and color change. How? Humans struggle to drive and talk at once. The answer lies in morphological computation. Each arm is built from 4 muscle groups: transverse, longitudinal, oblique, and circular, interwoven like an elephant's trunk, granting near infinite degrees of freedom. Crucially, it doesn't need the brain to pre-calculate every joint angle. Instead, it leverages the arm's physical structure and muscle properties to do the math on the fly. Think of shooting a basketball. You don't compute gravity. Wind or compute gravity, resistance, trajectory. Your brain just says, "Get it in," and your body solves it physically. An octopus's arm is its own body-level calculator. Now we arrive at the hardest-hitting foundational principle, the construction site editor. You've probably heard octopuses have 9 brains. That's a common scientific myth. They don't have 9 separate brain organs, have 1 central brain plus 8 peripheral nerve clusters. Distributed system. Each arm's nerve cord operates autonomously, but it's not a standalone brain. What truly earns them the alien label is their RNA editing power. Most of us, including you, edit RNA only about half of the time, and rarely in ways that alter proteins. Octopuses? They massively rewrite RNA sequences, directly changing protein structure and function. Imagine everyone's genome as a fixed architectural blueprint. Everyone builds exactly what the blueprint says. Octopuses? They added the construction plans on the job site: shrink windows when it's cold, thin walls when it's hot. Here's another example. Antarctic octopuses and equatorial octopuses share nearly identical DNA blueprints, but their RNA editing sites in nerve cells differ drastically, producing temperature-adapted proteins. Same blueprint, different construction, plans, different buildings. It's like taking one Excel spreadsheet and generating 2 entirely distinct reports based purely on function. In biology, that's wildly counterintuitive and extremely rare. So why don't octopuses pass this ability down, build civilizations, or create technology? Because evolution has no goal-only trade-offs. They traded long-term evolutionary speed for extreme short-term flexibility. Their lifespan is typically just 1 to 2 years, with the males often die immediately after mating. That means no time to accumulate knowledge or transmit culture. They're the ultimate live-in-the-moment species. spending 1 or 2 years refining themselves into perfect survival machinists and dying, handing their Jinsan that powerful editing toolkit to the next generation. Every octopus is a freshly rewritten operating system. Finally, let's return to that opening line. If you want to meet an alien, go diving and become friends with an octopus. Octopuses aren't aliens, but they offer a radically different form of intelligence, one that doesn't rely on language, vision, or central control. Instead, it runs on decentralized decisions, chemical identity, and physical computation. Itself is more fragmented, more fluid, more immediate than ours. Drop a comment telling me what question you'd most like me to unpack next. I'll dive deeper in my next video. And remember, your skin can camouflage too, but first, you've got to learn, like the octopus, how not to be seen.